So y'all, we get to the emergency room, and like I said, I found out I'm pregnant. After they do like all the tests and stuff like that, they say I'm pregnant. They was like, they gotta do an ultrasound. So I'm like, okay, fine, let's do this ultrasound, get this shit over with so I can go home. So my thoughts in my head is, now not only do I have one kid, now I have 2 kids, and maybe I should move to Texas with my mom, because I know that ain't nobody gonna take care of me like my mama. Whatever. Because I had already knew Mark was cheating on me. But I was too scared to confront him, because like I said, Mark was a teapot, y'all. Like, that man, I done seen him go off on his baby mama. And if that wasn't a red flag, I don't know. But like, even though she used to get back with him, as far as like going back and forth, whatever like that, like, she could curse real good. And so whatever he said never fazed her. She didn't care. So anyways, they doing the ultrasound, and I was early pregnant. So you know, like, when you early pregnant, you can't get like ultrasound. You got to get the little thing, that little tube that they stick up there in your hoo-ha, and so she stuck the little thing up there, and she going around, and I'm like, girl, you do one more swirl like this, girl, we go together real bad. Cause what? So she was like, all you seen was like, she was like, ooh, and her eyes got big. And so when she did that, immediately my antennas have raised. Cause girl, what the hell is you saying? Ooh. So I'm like, ooh, what you mean? So she say, I gotta let the doctor come in here and tell you what's going on. So I said, listen, we not doing that. We not doing like the movies doing all that shit like that. Girl, tell me what's going on right now. She was like, I can't. I was like, listen. I said, I will flip. I said, the way I feel right now, I will flip you and that little thing and that little monitor over if you don't tell me what's going on. She said, okay. So she said, if I tell you, you got to get your shit together, and you can't let him know I told you. So I said, okay, tell me what. She said, you pregnant with twins. I said, I know you fucking lying. Twins? Immediately, y'all, my heart dropped to my cooter pop. Because I said, what? She said, so she turned the screen around, y'all, and it was 2 sacks. And I just started to bawl. I'm talking about, I started to cry. I did not want to talk to anybody. And I damn sure ain't want to talk to his ass. I started to cry. Because now in my mind, I went from a mom of 1 to now I'm finna go to a mom of 3. Ghetto. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. And I knew that, granted, I knew Mark was going to be a great dad. But as far as a partner, I was going to be on my own. I was going to be on my own. So she said, listen, you can't cry, get together. This is why I can't tell. This is why I shouldn't have said nothing to you. So I was like, I'm going to get together. So I wiped my tears or whatever like that. Wait for the doctor to come in. The doctor ended up telling me, like, he go through the whole thing. He like, yeah, it's the twins are going to be, if I had them, they were going to be fraternal. It's 2 sacks. So I want y'all to keep in mind about the 2 sacks now. So it's 2 sacks. I'm like, all right. So I grabbed the paperwork. They discharged me at this point. Mind you, he's still sitting in the waiting room because I don't want you back here with me. So when he see me come out the room, at the back or whatever, he like, well, dang, them people said they came and asked you could I come back. You ain't never say nothing. I said, because your phone call was more important. He said, well, what did they say? Because they discharged you. I said, I don't even want to talk about it right now. He was like, what you mean you don't want to talk about it? What's going on? Johnson, stop playing with me. Woot, woot, woot. Mark started going, like, he started getting loud. And Mark had like a deep voice. So when he got loud, like, he's loud. So people think you're yelling. So I said, all right, I'm finna tell you what they said. Sit down. He said, no, man, I ain't sitting down, man. Just tell me what they said, man. I said, mind you, where we were at the discharge place. So how they had to discharge when you came out, it was kind of like a checkout situation or whatever like that. And I said, sit down so I can tell you what they said. He's like, man, I ain't finna sit down, man. Just tell me what they said, man. Whoop, whoop. I said, I'm pregnant. He was like, okay. Mark didn't care about kids. I told you he was good dad. He didn't care. He was like, I said, no. I'm pregnant with twins. Y'all, that nigga when I say his whole facial expression changed, he just sat in it was a chair that was sitting on the wall. He just sat in that chair. Girl, y'all, he sat in that chair for probably 5-10 minutes. It was 5 or 10 minutes of complete silence. Come back for part 3.